So I'm in a room that looks like it has columns. It looks like a temple. I feel like I feel like this is Greece. I don't know why I feel that. I just do. And that there's temples in this room, but it also has like an outdoor courtyard that's partly covered over. So it's not a fully enclosed room. And I feel like I live there. I look down, I'm wearing, it's like a robe. It's like a white flowing robe. And I live there with other people. There are other people wearing these white flowing robes. It's all women as far as I can tell. It's women at this place.
Okay, and you are one too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. And
what is this place that you're in with all these women?
I'm trying to see because it feels, I'm not seeing outside of it. I think it's a place where people come. It's not a court. The people come here to get information, they get decisions, but I don't feel like it's judgment.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really feel like a church either, but it's a place that there's a line of people. It's on the side of a hill, and people walk up this hill. And that's how we eat. Our food comes from these people who come to this place.
They're bringing you food?
They bring like flowers, they bring shells and gifts, but that's that we don't grow our own food or feed ourselves. We're supported by the community. I mean, that's the words.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't be a part of the community. We have to stay separate. And we stay separate because we're connecting to source. We're connecting to information.
Okay, so they allow you to do that by not having to have a job. Basically, they're supporting you.
That's what it feels like. And I feel like when you come, you can enter a room and state your situation. It's like we channel higher knowing of how to solve a problem, or I don't know. It's like it's revered. It's not thought of as strange or anything else. It's like, oh, I have this thing going on in my life and I don't know what to do. So I go up the mountain and have this session. And it's like everyone could come. It's not for just a king or just it's just part of the community.
Okay. So basically the exchange is the offering for the advice. Okay.
But it's not like we could go live for whatever reason where, oh, I think we're protected. There's like angelic protection is why we stay there and stay together.
And
I don't know if there's a portal or something. Like I feel like there might be a vortex or something makes that space protected and so that we can make that connection for people.
And how many do you feel? Is this like a couple or several or many?
I feel like it's the number 20 popped in my head.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel huge, but it's not just 2.
So around 20 women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Does it feel like you live in this temple as well?
We do. I don't think we leave. I don't think we're supposed to leave. And in fact, there's we're not supposed to be tainted, is the word, by knowing what's going on in this village. Like we're not supposed to be in the middle of the fights at the fish market, or we're supposed to be objective and not involved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I got to be there. I was looking to say, well, why am I here? And I think I was chosen and trained like before I was really little, like barely toddling. So I don't know why though. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's okay. We don't have to know why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're gonna close that scene then, and we're gonna go to an important event in this woman's life, looking for an important event that's happening in this woman's life. Be there now. What's happening? What do you see?
I have this sense we're all around a circle. I have the sense that we've been shown something that's scary, and it looks to me like it's some kind of like volcanic eruption or something that's like fire and ash and dust. And there's this huge division of tell people the truth or not is being like argued and discussed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like there's elders there, although that's interesting because how would you keep it going without some kind of organization? I don't feel like there's anyone in charge.
Do you feel young or old?
I feel kind of like in the middle, like maybe 30.
Okay. So
I feel like there are older ones and younger ones.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys look up to the older ones or not really?
I don't think so. It doesn't feel like that to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but it's like more than one of us has been shown this. And so it's in the discussion of it. Like, it's not like anybody came up and said, hi, today my problem is, am I going to be covered with ash? Like, this is information we have that no one has asked us, but what do we do with it?
Right. So by the end of this discussion, what ultimate decision do you arrive at?
I don't think we got to the end of that discussion. I think this event happened and we didn't get a chance to tell anybody. Like, I don't feel like there was a decision made yet, but it still happened, and it devastated that community.
Did it affect you, the women in that temple?
I don't think we existed after that either.
Okay. So it affected everybody.
It does seem to, yes. I think that's what happened.
Okay. So as you left that body behind and you left that soul behind, do you get a feeling or a sense of how the body passed on?
I don't have a No, I don't know exactly. I feel like maybe I left my body before the body itself did whatever I left. I left with this sense of responsibility, though, that
Mm.
because we were dithering, we didn't allow people to seek shelter.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that indecision cost people their lives.
Okay. So as you leave behind, and with that thought, with that guilt, is that something that you deal with in the soul state as you are going back to wherever you go once you left the body?
I feel like in the soul state, it's a lesson. I feel detached from it. I feel like that energy is attached to me and maybe has followed me into other lifetimes of
Mm-hmm.
like sort of saying, I don't want to know because I'm responsible. That's what it feels like to me.
Mm-hmm.
And like it may well be that why it's coming up now, given what we asked today. But that's what it feels like, that there's such a heavy weight with knowing.
Mm-hmm.
And right now it makes me sad. I have tears
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
now, not so much then, because then I'm out of body and I'm not feeling it. But it does make sense that would be brought forward.
Right. So as you see it in that lifetime, you realize, right, that it doesn't belong in this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
As you release it, let it go, release
Mm-hmm.
that connection. And as you can see from what happened too, everything is an experience.
Mm-hmm.
There is no judgment. When you go to the other side, there's just information. So we release all that guilt in that lifetime as well. So see yourself leaving that guilt behind for both that lifetime and this lifetime, as it definitely doesn't belong here today. So now as you return back, where do you see your soul go? Where does it go?
I feel like I look around and I see pods of souls, and mine like rises into a certain pod. It's the best I could describe it. There are other souls there. There are other pods around me, but they're not my pod. And
So the other pods that you see, do they have something inside of them?
I mean, I just know souls, I call it a pod because it feels like souls are grouped together. So when I go to my group, but it's not like it's a building or a house or whatever. It's just groups of energies.
Okay.
And in that pod, I feel like there are, like we have a routine in between that is, there are parts of it like I have to go debrief from this life. I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I do things in between, but I don't know what I do. I don't have a sense of that. And then I think that to take another incarnation on Earth. I think there are other places too, but on Earth, I would go through some process. And I look around in my pod and say, these are the people that I have gone through lots of things with. So I guess is my pod my soul family? Probably. That feels right to me.
So as you
But I
look,
don't look at them and say, oh, there's so and so or there's so and so. I don't. It's not that kind of recognition. It's just that I feel I know them.
Okay. Well, see yourself in that pod, immerse yourself in that pod to see and really understand what happens there. How does that process work?
I feel fear. It's like that hold your breath feeling. So trying to ask myself, well, what would make you feel safe? This is not a threatening environment, but it's something. I'm clinching over this. So what I need to see, I'm not comfortable seeing, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. So are we able to see the decision process of how Mary picked the different lifetimes? So not the lifetime itself, but more of the decision process.
I feel like there is one. I know there is one, but I don't see myself participating in one. So I don't know what that's about either. Because I mean, I know I have. Sitting here in the pod, I know I've done that, but I don't have any sense of it, or like I can't pull it forward.
What can you tell me about this pod? Are you able to define how many other souls are in this pod?
I don't know an exact number, but I feel like it's maybe 30 or so. That's about right. And I can feel they go about their business. There's pods above us, like when you go to your pod, your energy matches your pods. There's pods below. It's like an evolution. I don't know why I'm not connecting. I just can't. I'm not getting there.
That's okay. When we connect to the higher self, we will get the information we need.
Okay.
But tell me more about this pod. So in this pod, do you feel like there's about 30 souls and they feel like you know them?
And I think there are sort of neighboring pods that I know souls in too, but I haven't had as many experiences with them. And I think when we create a lifetime, I'm starting to feel it now that I've seen this before. It's like sitting around a table, but that's not exactly what it is. But there's this, I need to have this experience. And, will you sign up to do this with me? Kind of negotiations between us. And so we make agreements. And I see us saying, yes, that will work. And, I'll be here then and whatever. So I don't see that. I don't feel like you make agreements with the thousands of people you would see in your lifetime, but with some you do. And many of those agreements are with the people right there in your own pod. But there are you reach to neighboring pods for experiences too, I think.
Okay.
I think that's true.
So in this pod, would somebody sign up to be like a bad guy, like a rapist or a child molester?
That's
for
what
you?
It feels like to me they would, or they would be the alcoholic, and I would have to say, what do I do with this? Or
Or the narcissist father.
Or the narcissist father, or that, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm also getting the sense in this lifetime, my lifetime now, I can feel that negotiation, and there were all these things. But I feel like there was an overriding, like, we really need you to do this call.
in addition to the decisions you were making for this
right,
lifetime. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
We need people in this incarnation at this time.
Okay.
That kind of call. That was, it's like the sense is, really make your list, because we're going to get the chance to do a big energetic jump in this lifetime, and you want to check these boxes so you can do it. I really do feel that. And then it was sort of like, well, you've checked enough boxes that you don't have to add these others on there. But I was like, no, let me get it done. So I feel myself as being motivated in this lifetime to come and do and complete these hard when you're in a body, relationships with abuse involved or whatever. So I feel like that was important.
So what is that overriding? Okay, go ahead.
I was just feeling sad. I got this huge wave of sadness I was seeing in that negotiation, and just feeling what we were trying to do and what we just didn't get to. It's like, it's sad. That makes me sad that we just couldn't go to where we needed to go. I don't know. You were going to ask about what's the overriding call, and I went there too, like, who is that? It's an earth thing. I feel like it's an earth, and where earth is in its movement through space, that there's chances, there's an energetic structure to these years. It's an opportunity to it's weird, because earth is all about this good and bad polarization-y kind of thing, but there's a chance to shift that into what was before. And when I say the words what was before, I feel like I'm saying Atlantis energy. It's that feeling of having lots of things at your fingertips, but working in conjunction. So that combination of Atlantean and Lemurian energy. And I'm not any expert on when they came or how they came, but it's it's like to be able to get to working in harmony with the planet you live on, and creating with the good of all in mind. That's the opportunity. But to do that, you have to stand strong in the face of dark. And so that's what they were looking for. And I almost feel like I sat there and said, I can't stand strong in the face of dark if I'm still allowing it to rule my life. And that's why you deal with abuse of where you've gotten off track of not holding your own energy and space,
Okay.
So I said, fine, I'll learn that and I'll be ready to help. It's almost like that's almost exactly the words.
So many different lessons at one time. That's wonderful.
But I don't have any sense of what does help look like. I mean, even in that situation, I could literally see the conversations and stuff, but I don't have a sense of, Mary, you're going to go take care of this, this, and this. Like, I know I'm a harmonizer. That's the word that comes. I'm a harmonizer. I can help energies come together instead of fighting each other. I can stand calm in conflict and help bring it together. Like I know I can do those things, but I don't have a sense of, and here's how you're supposed to do that, or here's what you're supposed to do with that, or anything else. Maybe it was a just be ready, we're going to need that kind of mission.
Mm-hmm. So in that overarching mission they give you on top of the lessons you wanted to learn,
Mm-hmm.
do you get the sense of what your mission is on Earth now at this time? The information should be contained within that mission description.
I mean, it makes sense that it would be, but I don't have a specific use. That's what I'm saying. They're showing me this is what you do, this is how you do it, but I don't have a sense of, and you know, like I can't put
Something
words around
specific.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's not like, oh, you're supposed to go make sure
the grids
North
are in
Korea
place or whatever.
Yeah, North Korea and whatever don't fight with each other. I don't have that sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
The harmonizer, and I know I can work with grids and move between dimensions. I know that too, but I don't have a here's your job, go do it feeling to any of that. It's like, you've got the skills, we'll tell you when we need them, is how it feels.
Okay, perfect.
Which maybe is true. I mean, I don't, you know, you want to say, oh, I know now, I came to do this. Well, I don't know. I just came to have these energies available, is what it feels like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So do you get a sense of when you're in this pod and everybody agrees to do their part of whatever to help you in this lifetime, do you in turn talk about how you help them in their?
Yeah, I can see the contracts for that too.
So it's like a two-sided contract.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I just wasn't sure if they sign up to be part of your life in this lifetime and then you sign up to be in their life of a different lifetime, not this one, but
It might be that
another one.
happens, that you don't have the mutual contracts in this lifetime. Like, I don't know, because I can see some of the mutual ones with my kids in particular.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that you would always have an obligation. I don't think I do have an obligation to all of the people that have agreed to play roles. I don't think so. Some say, I'll do this, and you know, I'll be there for 30 days in your life, but this is what will happen. I mean, and that's not the same kind of longer term, I'll do this for you and you'll do this for me. But every agreement always has the two sides. That's what I'm shown, is that no one ever doesn't get something for what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So they might be doing it for karmic reasons in some other lifetime, maybe not even having to do with you, but they're going to balance their scales that way.
Okay. Do you see any other agreements while you're in the pod of this lifetime with anybody else?
I see. I feel like I have a list of people, and it's like some are in reserve. Like if I had learned my lesson better the first time in relationship, I wouldn't have had to have a relationship with the next person or the next person. That's how it feels like. I'll be in reserve if you need me, kind of thing. It's interesting. And so I don't, like, I feel like it's like saw different sides of the same issue with different relationships with my ex-husband, with between two, although I don't think narcissist would be even a word that comes close to describing him, but it was the opposite side of maybe not valuing yourself enough. And so, and I know narcissists don't really value themselves, but I mean, you know what I'm saying, like that over emphasis on you above others versus maybe not so much. Maybe the lesson was the opposite side, to see what happens, why two people can't be strong next to each other if any of these weaknesses are there. And weakness isn't the right word, but distortions in the energy are there.
Mm-hmm. So what you're seeing, is it making clear how you can now heal what you need to heal to get to the next relationship?
You know, it's interesting. I don't feel like what's the, I feel like the contracts are checked, like check
Mm-hmm.
across them.
Mm-hmm.
So I was saying, well, do I get to have a relationship now that is more whole and healthy, you know?
Right. So, yeah, if all the check marks are there.
Yeah, if they're there, then why not?
Right.
You know, or what's it? And I don't see that. It may or may not be there, but it's there. They're not immediately showing, oh yeah, that's the agreement you have with this person.
Yeah.
So
well, they don't like to show future stuff very often.
No. Oh, but now that I say that, I do see there's like three other people at this pod that are possibilities. That's what they said. You have possibilities. So I'm like, okay, that's good. I don't, you know, it's just, I mean, it's interesting because I know that's always been part of what I want to do in this lifetime, is to experience that and to just see how things go off kilter. It for me, it centers a lot around living your truth, but there's all kinds of ways we get wonky from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I've been shown them in relationship, which is, it's a good learning school, that's for sure.
Yes.
I don't see unchecked boxes, which actually makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do feel like I'm not karmically tied to anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't have any more. I was asking, are there any other things within this pod that I haven't completed? And I don't see it. I'm not saying I'm done with life. I don't feel like that at all, but I just don't feel like I have a lot of karmic debt hanging over my head still to act out, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which, if that's true, that's really good.